I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have a serious condition. And I have way more projects, and I never seem to amaze myself by going, Tom, you should sell off a couple. So I do. I sell off two. And then next thing you know, I go and buy another one. This big 73 Caprice beside me is one that I bought probably 9 months ago. And I was like, I should just get rid of it. And then yesterday I get a phone call and I wind up having to get another one. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm unhappy with with me buying more and more stuff, but do any of you guys struggle with this kind of problem? Well, it's cold today, and the project I really just bought it for the engine because of it's a big motor, and having a big block laying around, not necessarily a bad thing. So I want to try to get this thing running. It's not that one, it's that one. Yes, sir. It's a 73, 74-ish Pontiac Grand Prix SJ, whatever SJ is. Now, in this day and time, these cars aren't necessarily sought after by a lot of people to fix up. If you do buy one of them, what you're normally getting it for is the power plant. And that's the same thing that I'm doing with it. Now, this car has the good motor. Set this camera here as you can see it, 455. It looks like it hasn't ever been changed. I want to actually dig down there on the block and make sure it has the casting number of 455 on it. But I also want to see if it'll run. Not really concerned that it will run well. Just basically, if it'll start long enough to know that it's not hammering and knocking, we'll know we've got a core to do something with. Now, the car itself, it's cold, man. That wind is right this morning. It's pretty rusty. I've got a guy who's interested in the body potentially as a dirt track car because, this is more or less a Monte Carlo. It's just the Pontiac version. Yeah, it's kind of I got it from a dude who bought it at an auction, and it's pretty much roached out. I mean, it's nasty. But this car back in the day was a high-end kind of car. A lot of times you'll see these, they'll have bucket seats and console. This one doesn't have that. Curious if it's got what kind of transmission. It could have a 400 turbo on it. Also, it's got them cool old wheels on it. These are probably, let's see the size if I can find it. It's down here on the bottom. Let's check one of the other ones. Maybe they've got 15s. I think it should be this era. I cannot find the size. Oh, it's up top. Yeah. Got 15s on it. We may save those. Those make good rollers. Yeah. Well, this wind's blowing pretty hard, but this giant hood may block some of it for us. Luckily with this thing, it's got an HEI distributor back off in there, so all we need is a 12-volt source. I'm going to take an air cleaner off of it, pour a little fuel in it, jump off a starter, and maybe it'll fire up. So that's what I'm working on right now. Time to get some tools, get started. Well, the first thing that we're going to do is take off this air cleaner and hook up our makeshift key. I'm going to plug this thing into the distributor. That way it'll turn that thing on. Man, somebody's already had that off. Yeah. And then we'll run that wire over here to the battery, and it should, get everything going. Really good thing about these HEIs and stuff, they've got labeled here on the top, you'll see where it says battery and then tack. We can unplug this one. Well, maybe. Just pull it off. If I can get my hand in there, do it. Like that. Your little wire, then dangling. And then we will plug this little thing in there. It's just a little female blade connector. And wiggle it up in there somehow. Just like so. See? Really not that big of a deal. Then we'll run that yellow wire over to the battery. Now, before we get too carried away, I want to clean up my battery cables just a little bit. This thing been vacant with a battery for so long. The battery cables aren't the greatest by any means. One of them is actually broke off where the bolt that goes in it to tighten it up is. So I'm going to clamber down with a set of these. Nothing too elaborate. This isn't something that we would drive home or even try to. Our goal is to see if we can get this car to turn over and fire up. Just hear it run, essentially. Maybe it'll work out. Let's set this dude off in here if it don't fall through. Figure out which one of these is ground. That one is ground. Let's put that one on first, the positive. Whoop. We gotta turn the key on. Man, it's cold out here today. Let's open this one up a little bit. Oh yeah. Mucho better. Alrighty. That one's on there. This is the ground. Heck, it may not need nothing as tight as that is. To, let's say, crank the motor over to engage the starter, I'm going to use my little power probe here. What's kind of neat about this thing is it has a trigger on it that you can apply 12 volts and you can apply a ground by simple rocker switch. So we'll clamp this onto here. And then these things is pretty cool. It has this little feature where you can take and screw this out, hook your wire into this little hook here, and then screw it down and it will pierce that wire. Then we can take and plug this into there, push it forward, and it will apply 12 volts. And on one of these GMs like this thing, all you need to do is find the purple wire that is running down to the starter solenoid and connect to it, and then you should be able to trip that solenoid, assuming that the starter is good. And that's assuming. Nothing's even clicking. Let's see if we can find. That wire is not going to the right spot. That's not the right purple wire. That's what that is. Wrong purple wire. I bet that purple wire is in here. Yep, it looks like somebody's already been in here trying to start this thing. One battery cable was cleaned up, and then there's a purple wire back there that's chewed up. So I'm curious if whoever tried to start it didn't find the right wire. There's a big old purple wire. I bet that was it. Let's try this again. That's it. Let's unplug that for a second. Now we need some gasoline. I wanted to show you what I was talking about with this little connector. See what I mean? It just kind of pierces the wire, which is pretty handy whenever you're doing diagnostic stuff. Or, like me, trying to get something running. So, yeah. Back over here is that wire I was talking about. Somebody's been whittling on it in a way. Rat could have chewed it maybe, but I don't know. Either way, it was the wrong wire. This is the wire that runs down here on the passenger or actual driver's side of a motor on a Pontiac. So somebody was trying to start it, cool. If not, no worries, we found the right wire. Before we dump all that gas in there, it's a good idea to kind of look around, see if you see anything that sticks out. This one's got some briars laid up in here. Some over there. We might ought to pull them things out of there. There's a giant wad of hood insulation and grass and etc. Probably ought to get that out of the way of the belts so that whenever that fan goes to spinning, it don't pull it and chunk it out everywhere. Just as some precautionary measures. But we'll get that stuff out of the way, dump some gas in here and see if she'll hit. Man, that could be a rat nest. You want to make sure to do this in a well-ventilated area. Yeah. Whew. Probably ought to pull them giggy bushes out of there. Maybe thinking I'm a wuss for not grabbing hold of them sticky bushes with my fingers. That's okay. You can call me what you want. Why should I? I got vice grips laying here. These things solve many problems. Yeah. Cool. I think we need some gas. Go get some gas. Whoo-wee. Now let's pour it down the throat of this thing. Maybe right here. A little over in there. You never know, folks. Never know what'll happen. Oh yeah. Forgot. I want to cut the fuel lines on this thing. I don't want it to pull any of that old stuff up. So, man, that line is hard. That knife's sharp, and it ain't cutting it. It's like cutting stone. Come on, come on. We just whittling away at it. That's gonna be good enough. I cut it almost in two. It would never pull now, it just draw air. So let's trip our trigger and see if she'll hit. Looky there. That's awesome. I want y'all to see this. This thing hadn't run in a long time. We spent a few minutes on it. Oh, I just remembered one more thing. I knocked this thing out of gear. Listen. Click, click. We just put it back in park. That could have been bad. Come on, baby. Come on, girl. A little more thirsty. Up here. Come on. May even flooded her now. Not looking too good. She's trying. That buzzing getting old, I can tell y'all that. Rascal. I see one thing. Let me unplug this. Let me show you what I see. While I'm over here trying to get this big Quadrajet and big Pontiac big block to fire off, let me show you what I found. The rat is eating a plug wire, or two. So that means 2 of the 8 aren't even making contact. So I'm gonna go find a couple of plug wires, put them on there, and see if that helps. Whew, I got a little old square body Chevy that I did some trading on. Let's see if it's got those kind of plug wires on it. This thing's a fuel injected motor. I think it's different. No, it'll still work. Sun's kind of glaring in y'all's eyes. Tell you what, I don't want to take them off of this. We're gonna go for another one. Out here in my, it's cold. Out here in my field of dreams, or what once was field of dreams. Whew. Yeah. We got some Cadillacs, some old big body Chevys. I need to sell off some of these cars. I ain't ever gonna do nothing with them. Whew. Suicide door Lincoln. Whew. There was a couple of old motors sitting over here in the woods. Maybe it's got a couple plug wires on it. We can grab them. Right here, I think is a Cadillac. Sure, I'm glad we put that tarp on there. Whew, that saved this thing. But look at there. We got plug wires. Ooh. Them kind of funky. But got the right end on it. There's one. And there's 2. You know, Everybody's supposed to do their part and recycle. Yeah, I need to do some recycling. Yep. Haul off some scrap iron. Y'all got a bunch of scrap iron sitting around? I've got a few. Got some old smash 'em up cars that kick some butt and can't really haul them off, or used to not be able to, because people cut them open and see what kind of cheating you did. I didn't really cheat. I just built a competitive car. Then you got a drop top or two. Yeah. Big 71 Chevrolet. That's actually kind of an expensive car sitting there. Y'all may have seen this thing before. That's Pop's big old tow truck. Anybody need a good Z28? It's got a trigger bite. See what I mean? It's for sale. Hit me up. Man, I got too much junk laying around. Whew. Sounds like I need to start doing some cardio. Yeah, let's get these plug wires on there and see if that'll help anything. What y'all think? Should we try it? It works. It's got a miss, but it could be more crappy plug wires. Oh yeah, there's another one. It's chewed up. I'm gonna go get another one. Want to unplug his power probe. Oh crap, we got another one chewed up. Let's go get two more. Be back in a second. Well, here's what we wound up finding out. Actually, 6 of the plug wires have been chewed up and basically not working. So luckily I found some, and we're gonna give this thing another try. Well, that took a little longer than expected, but with those 6 new used plug wires on there, this thing liable to act a little different. Man, that coast is okay. So, let's hook this thing up. Give her a little swig of some fire water. Then on the hatch. Both switch. That's totally different. She runs. It's not hammering. Having a good time. And it's really not squeaking either. Let's see if we can just let her out. It's obviously going to need a tune-up though. That old carburetor's in bad shape. Well, unplug his noisemaker. Any of you guys know of anybody that needs a 455 Pontiac? I got one. Yep. Need a Grand Prix? I got one. Well, part of one. Well, we got that thing fired up, and it looks like we got us definitely a good little donor motor. It will definitely need a tune-up, to say the least, with them recycled plug wires and them antique ignition parts and so on and so forth. But I'm pretty confident it didn't, it fired up pretty quickly. So with a little bit of tinkering, we could have us a 455 for a project car, like a GTO, something like that. Man, you never know what can show up. But in all reality, I don't think I'm ever going to do anything with it. If you guys know anybody that would be interested in one of these, we're going to go ahead and move her on down. Send her on out to somebody else. Because I've basically decided I've got some dreams, some bigger dreams. Y'all know I still have my first car, and it's sitting over there and has been kind of stove up for many, many years. And it's time for me to drag that thing out and get started on it. Reach out to me. Y'all know how to do that. And I appreciate your support, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. Don't forget to like and follow, and most of all, keep it between the ditches. I think that's shine right up.